Alright, so last we left you guys were all in Zahur, or getting drunk on the boat, or hiding out on the boat watching people get drunk? Or were you getting drunk as well, Thorn?
Oh, I was drinking.
Okay. So, tiny little halfling drinking with the crew.
Yep,
The
yep.
tiefling.
I don't think I went back to the boat. I think I
No,
was
you
still in
have
the
not
shop.
yet. You're still at the shop technically, unless you were done there. I kind of assumed that we finished that part up.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you have something else you'd like to do before you go back to the ship?
Dear God, please, there's one thing that I don't think anybody's done yet, but they really should.
Save.
No quick save, quick load. Sorry.
Dang.
I can't say it, though. Like, I know what it is, and Saxon knows what it is, but he's not going to do it because he totally thinks it's the boring way out.
Now Robert's going to be sitting here thinking for like a minute.
I'm trying to help. That's the best I can do.
Well, fuck, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I'll walk on water and then be like, "What's up?"
I mean, you're kind of thinking in the right direction.
Really?
I don't know what he's even thinking, to tell you the truth. So you can't look at me for that.
Well, I've only played one game with Pink, so I don't really know how he thinks it in game. So
It depends
except
on the
kill
character.
everybody. Wow,
Yeah, I'd
everyone-
play the character. My character wouldn't do this, even though it's the smartest thing to do.
Well, shit.
I'm gonna laugh if you send it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think Vull would do that either. The only character that would actually be interested in doing that isn't here to
Is
roleplay.
not here.
Can you roll him an intelligence check?
Let's see. Yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him an intelligence check.
Okay, Volt, for the record, buy a scroll of remove curse.
Yeah, I don't think that would be in Vol's concept. I mean, as far as Vol cares, he is cursed.
Like, we know that the ring on the captain has a curse on it. It probably has something to do with what's going on. Buy a scroll of remove curse.
So should I roll a...
Or, given that I don't remember what level the spell is,
Third,
just
second.
take it in the morning. If it's second, just take it in the morning.
He doesn't have second level spells yet.
Me?
Let's take a look. Yeah, I think you get him at fifth level. You're a third caster, so you're not a full caster.
Oh. Okay.
That's actually a good question. See, I don't know what level that spell is.
Remove curse is a level 3 spell.
Okay, yeah, so I couldn't do it anyways.
Well, how much is a scroll of remove cursing?
Well, Gruck rolled it well enough. Let's see.
As I say, I only have 15 gold, so I don't really know if that's going to do much.
There it is. I'm trying to find my DMG because I don't know the prices on scrolls off the top of my head. I know a lot of things, but that's not one of the things I know.
I drink and I know things. Except that.
Except that.
That, or see if there's like a cleric or something that has it that's willing to offer his services. Might be cheaper than a legit scroll.
That is possible. It is an
So,
uncommon item, so it could be anywhere from about 200 to 500 gold.
Don't have enough money for that.
Like, Saxon thinks it's the boring and silly way out, so he's probably not going to say it. Well, I know he's not going to say it. and he's not really going to care about doing it. But reasonably speaking, that's the smartest choice.
Yeah, I think my character probably wouldn't, like Matt said, would be like, hey.
Well, at some point as a group, would we have talked about it, and then we should decide to go buy one? If I was
How
talking,
long were we on the boat?
I think 4 days, wasn't it?
You were on the boat for 7 days getting here.
Oh.
I mean, there's a reasonable enough chance that the conversation might have occurred.
Yeah, I probably did, honestly. Alright, well, he is able to not find the scroll, but he is able to find a cleric that is willing to cast it if the object is brought to him.
Okay. So
you have till first light to make that happen. 'Cause that's
well,
on the boat.
we're all on the boat.
The captain is not, however.
I know. I'm drinking with the crew.
Can I do an investigation check to see if I can find him?
The captain? Sure.
My -1.
You're not able to find the captain. It is a huge, huge city. Huge city. Like, did you see the size map-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. The area that he's most likely in is 4 miles by about 2 miles. So...
Yeah.
And about 50% of the population lives in that area of the whole city. So
How about an insight check to see if I would kind of have an idea of where he would go based on
it's
his
gonna
personality?
it's gonna be a disadvantage, but you could go ahead and roll that.
Sure.
and what? I didn't think about it.
Performance, by the way, Saxon.
Performance or deception?
Performance,
Okay.
because it's more of an acting thing.
So still no, or
Still no. You're
Okay.
you can narrow it down a little bit, but it doesn't help enough. The places you would have thought he would have gone to first, Saxon has already been to.
okay.
So
Then I'll just I'm gonna wait outside the boat.
Alright. As you guys approach, you and Grunk approach the dock, there is some guards near the end of it that were there when you guys left, and they are basically inspecting people before you go back onto the ship. Basically think of them as,
Customs.
yeah. And they basically, they wave a wand over you, and it does a beep for both of you, and they say, alright, just so you know, can see by the records here that it's your first time to Zahur, and you have acquired your first item in Zahur. It says you got a magic item, a ring.
Yep.
That is tax-free, duty-free. However, if you do come to get another magic item, you will have to pay a tax on it to get any items after this.
What if I don't purchase it? Like if I get a gift from somebody or do something with like through my services.
It's specifically a tax on magic items. So if you buy a magic item here, or are given one, and you are taking it out of the country, it is a tax for removing it from the country.
Is it a one-time fee, or is it every time I come back I got to pay tax on a certain item?
One time for each item.
Okay.
Just so you know. I wanted to make sure you were known. And you are documented.
Here's a silly question. No, wait, I'm not there. Did they bother to say that when I came back with the food and the beer?
They checked you, but you didn't have any magic items, so no.
Okay.
You didn't buy any new magic. It's only if you buy magic items.
I respectfully disagree with the statement that alcohol is not magic.
Well, you can disagree with that all you want. It's easier to produce than magic items.
Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go turn off the stove.
That's probably good. Don't, and you'll set things on fire.
Yeah.
So, we'll let him get back. How much are you drinking, Thorn?
Just enough to have a good time, but not enough to get me fucked up.
Okay.
So I'm very aware of what's going down.
Alright, alright. So, like the wedding, huh? Alright, so you get back on the ship. As you get back on, you give me a perception check.
Who, me?
Yes. Perception followed by insight. Alright, so as you're coming back on, you realize that Saxon is so shit-faced. You're pretty sure he's going to fall overboard and not be able
Okay.
to survive. Like, he is... You're pretty sure he doesn't know which way is up, and if he has, like, another sip, he is going to die. Like, he is that level of shit-faced.
Well, and what's my insight say?
That's the combination of both.
Oh, okay.
He is that level of shit-faced.
I
don't bother having Gruck roll because he doesn't care.
No, he really doesn't. He's probably hoping I do fall overboard.
I'm gonna go punch him to knock him out, so he doesn't drink anymore.
Okay, so roll it.
Just roll
It'd be basic. Do you have any attack will work because you have proficiency with your attack. So just any
Dear
attack,
God.
and it'll
You
just
just
the damage.
walk up onto the ship and you're like, I'm gonna go punch Saxon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just do the roll, and then it's gonna be 1 plus your strength modifier. So what's your strength modifier?
Strength modifier is 3.
Alright, so Saxon, you're sitting there having a good old time. Vull walks up with a determined look on his face, and out of nowhere just cold clocks you right across the face.
Like, stagger back.
Like,
Try
this
to
is like,
focus.
it feels like that whole like you slept with my girlfriend type cold clock out of nowhere, just no explanation.
Kind of stagger back, kind of focus, and hang on 1 second. Are the sailors doing anything?
That's actually what I was getting ready to roll. Actually, yes. 2 of them do get up, and they get right next to you, and they're glaring at Vull. One of them is currently throwing up over the side of the ship, and the other one is just like, "Well, I wonder how this is going to turn out."
What the hell, man?
You're too freaking drunk.
Dude, yo, my
That
dick's coming.
sounds a lot like somebody who's too freaking sober.
That's
That does
probably
bring
true.
a cheer from everybody,
Oh.
including the one throwing up.
I'm pretty sure if you drank one more glass, you'd be done. So
Challenge motherfucking accepted. And I'm gonna go and get myself a glass.
Hold on. I grab him. Can I grapple him?
Yes.
Wait, how high up are we off the water?
You're technically on the ship, which
I know.
is maybe 15 feet.
Okay, can I? Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna grapple him.
You get
So
a
strength check?
dexterity, or you get acrobatics or athletics opposed, Saxon, to his athletics check. And actually, you will have an advantage, Saxon, because the crew members are trying to keep you from being grappled. Although it's enough that even on your own, you're able to slip out.
Balls.
For the
He's
record,
like-
it wouldn't have worked anyway.
Dang.
So you try to grab me, fall on your face like a fill up another cup, look you dead in the eyes, drink it, set it down, give you the finger.
And I say, fuck it, and I just walk away.
No. Wrong attitude, Big Blue. Get a drink. Make everything better.
Who says that?
One of the sailors.
I just shake my head and walk away. You're not worth it.
A drink. It's free booze. What's wrong with you?
Okay, in your head, you're going to hear probably very slurred. You do realize we have to live with these people. Do you really want to offend them by not drinking with them? Because that doesn't sound like a good plan.
By the way it sounds, they're too far gone to really even comprehend that I'm disrespecting them anyway.
So you admit that you're disrespecting them?
What?
You admit that you're disrespecting them.
No. I mean, no disrespect, but if they take disrespect out of it, well, then I guess, they're just snowflakes.
It's pronounced sailor.
Oh, sorry.
Gruck is getting a drink.
How do you spell that? That's why.
S7
And you're going to sleep.
Whatever, fuck him, we're drinking.
There you go.
S7 Ailer. Now I know how to spell sailor. Listen up, kids. This show is educational. Learning with Uncle Pink.
The letter for the day is joint.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. Because I'm so high. Alright, so you just head down below and fiddle with your ring of water walk?
Yeah. I'm so happy with this ring. You have no idea. I've been thinking about it for the whole past week.
Alright. So, you fiddle with your ring of water walk. Gruck has an ale. Although he is obviously nursing his. He doesn't drink heavily, typically. But he is at least drinking with everyone. The night will start to pass by. The sun will set. And the captain has yet to return.
What?
We have...
It's instant damage right after you're done. Like, right when you get lifted, it's literally instant damage.
Yes, instant damage. I just want to, keep the party moving.
Okay, the party does keep going on. By the time the other sailors have come back to the ship, every one of the other sailors is completely passed out. Like, blacked out.
Sweet, reinforcements.
The rest of the sailors have been working on getting things loaded and whatnot. And they will definitely appreciate and polish off the rest of the booze. There is more of them than there were before, so they won't get near blackout drunk. But they will polish it off like champs and enjoy that. It'll be... How late do you stay up?
We
What was
don't
that?
sleep. We don't sleep.
Until the captain's back.
Till the captain gets back?
Until the captain gets back.
Said we're leaving at first light. I don't have anything to do while we're setting off, so I can sleep then.
Okay, so you stay up all night. It'll be about maybe an hour and a half before first light. Everybody is on the ship except for the captain, and that is when the captain will return. And give me a perception check.
Who?
Whoever's awake up on top. So, Thorn and Saxon.
Where's
What
my
do
shit?
you do with the drunken sailor? What do you do with the drunken sailor?
Alright, well, Thorn and Saxon, you guys will notice, he is coming back on. He's got a heavy hood on, and it's not like he's trying to hide, like, hood up type thing, but he is trying to sneak back on board without people noticing. Like, he's not coming on verbosely. He just comes on and kind of heads right to his room.
Hey, Captain Crank Pants!
He looks back at you.
You want a beer?
We'll be casting off soon. I think I better not. Okay, fine, one.
I don't think you'll be casting off anywhere with the way your sailors are.
You're not there.
I know. OOC.
Alright. So he'll come over and the beer will be gone, but you will still have some of that mead. So he'll have a glass of that instead. But on the 24 perception check, you'll notice. Give me an insight actually with that as well, Thorn.
Give you what?
Insight check.
Oh,
I got body.
13, coach.
Okay. 13. Alright, so you'll notice that while he's drinking it, he's... First off, you could see him looking and taking account of his... the sailors that are passed out and ones that are more intoxicated. That much is clear to both you and Saxon. However, he is purposefully keeping his cloak over his right side right now. And he's acting a little bit uncomfortable with being right here, right now. You'll notice those two things.
I'm gonna be awfully chummy.
Okay. So just talking,
Like
slapping him on the back.
like the I love you man kind of drunk chum.
Okay. Is there any goal to that outside of just being overly chummy?
I'm just feeling him out right now. But you know, like arm around the shoulder, kind of talking to him a little bit, definitely slurring my words, telling him, you know, I'm sorry that he was put into a position where we needed to be here. I hope we're, you know, can be friendlies and
He was uncomfortable before. He's reaching a new level of uncomfort, but he's not like trying to flee it either.
So he likes it.
Saxon, you can actually feel him tensing up a bit.
okay.
You want to do anything, Thor?
I was gonna distance still.
Okay. He will finish his drink, put it down, and go.
Hang on. While this is going on, I'm going to instruct Warwick to keep a very close eye on the captain.
Okay.
Make sure the captain is not aware.
Warwick goes and waits by the captain's quarters for the door to open. He will finish his drink, put it down, and go, well, I have some last-minute preparations to do before we cast off. Thank you for the wine.
My pleasure.
He nods and slinks out from underneath your arm and heads to the, into his captain's quarter, and Warwick sneaks in with him, as he does.
I'm totally gonna fall down when he slinks out.
Okay. So you fall gracefully, not so gracefully fall. Thump.
Yeah. You know.
Alright, I'm going to, I noticed him leave, so I'm going to sneak off to someplace, morph into a spider, and sneak into his cabin, or into his quarters.
Okay. There is enough cracks to be able to do that without too much of an issue. You're able to sneak right in. His quarters are fairly small. It's enough for a bed and a desk. Let's see. A bed, a desk, and there's some paper strewn about on a small table in there as well. Obviously, like charts and stuff like that. More messy than you would expect for a captain's quarters, but it's nicer than the other ones have been. So, other rooms. It's about twice the size of the rooms you guys have, which are basically maybe 7 foot by 7 foot by like 4 foot head, right? Like, so perfect size for you, but everybody else is ducking a bit in there. So he gets in there, and he's just, you can see he's a little
Wait, when is modern? Is it every other
off-put.
week?
He's a little off-put. He does take his cloak off and puts it to the side. You're going to notice that there is some wounds down his arm that weren't there before, and he will actually go over to his desk drawer, pull it open, and pull out a healing potion and chug that. And he sits down, just frustrated, and pulls out a journal and starts to write in it.
They might say it might be earlier too, like regular
Okay.
Give me a perception check.
Perception.
As he's doing that, you keep hearing what sounds like kind of like maybe a rat or something scurrying about the room, but nothing past that really. He is writing stuff. His handwriting is by no means pretty. It's actually pretty horrific handwriting.
Oh, you're flashing on the wall.
And
He must be a doctor.
he has a doctorate. And it's ooh, my mind just went blank. I hate when this happens.
Somebody push delete.
How many languages does your character speak?
Just, I want to say 2.
Or
I speak Common, Halfling, and Druid.
you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I lost sound
Did you
there
hear
for a second. No, I didn't hear you.
Okay, so yeah, I speak Common, Halfling, and Druid.
Okay. You can see that the script he is writing in is in Elven,
Elven.
but you can't read it, unfortunately.
Okay.
So
What race is he?
he's human.
Oh.
But
Huh.
he is writing his journal in Elven.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
All right. Just
Anything
gonna keep
else?
watching. I'm just gonna keep watching until he does something suspicious.
All right. He finishes his finishes the journal thing. He shuts it, pushes it to the back of his desk. He gets up, puts on his captain cloak or his robe based or coat. There's the word, captain robe, and goes out and starts barking orders, waking people up. That whole journal process probably took about 45 minutes of him writing.
All right.
So you kind of watch him go out. Give me another perception check. Okay.
Oh.
It's not great.
No, that is
It's not
not
great.
great. That is not great.
You have 1,000 eyes. How do you not see it?
Right? It's too busy like trying to hide so I don't get seen.
Yeah, because everybody's looking for spiders on a ship.
Do
Yeah,
they
but I
have
gotta run.
advantage?
I gotta run so far.
Actually, thankfully, you don't see it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the captain's busy doing things that he needs to be doing, but he's still going to get that. And Saxon, give me a perception check. Oh, you should be very happy. Okay, so nobody sees it, thankfully.
Nobody sees anything.
What?
Nobody sees it. Actually,
Jake didn't
there's
see it.
one more person up
Oh,
there.
he did see it.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly how I feel.
Doesn't see it either. Wow, all the rolls. Well, let's hope these are just getting it out of the way for combat, right?
Do I see anything?
You're down below. You said you went to your room.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
No, you do not.
Balls.
Does Warwick see it?
Warwick doesn't see it or Warwick sees it because it's Warwick doing things.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
And the captain did not see the journal floating underneath they're just kind of floating as the imp scurries down underneath the ship. And you didn't see it either. Or Thorn.
Gotta sneak out of
Oh,
pocket.
whatever, man. I'm cool with that. Warwick's allowed to do what Warwick does.
And you're going to hear in your head, Saxon, I got book. He is writing and don't know the words. They're pretty script. Pretty script. I don't get pretty script.
Alright,
Flowery.
I'm totally gonna go check that shit out. No, wait, where are you?
Your room, I think.
Okay.
I don't know which one you sleep in.
Is the captain sort of barking orders?
Oh yeah, he's barking. He's not paying attention to you at all right now on his natural one. He's just trying to wake up people that are blackout drunk. Like he's currently finding a pail and he's lowering it down to the water to get water to make sure people are waking up.
I'm trying to think. We don't have an elf in this party, do we?
No, you do not. You may have somebody that speaks Elven though.
Well,
Nobody has ever discussed what languages they know and don't know in the party. That's something I usually deal with pretty quick. Like, what do you speak? What do you speak?
right now, other than chilling.
I only speak 2 languages.
Celestial and Common?
Eric?
And Saxon speaks Abyssal and Common,
Hang on.
right? Or is it
No, I
Infernal?
speak Infernal.
Okay. I don't know if it's
Common.
Infernal or Abyssal.
I'm trying to see something. I'm just waiting for the,
Thorn speaks Halfling, Druid, and Common.
Common.
I have
I'm just
no
trying to see
idea.
because I have a level in Bard. Did I get an extra language? Because I didn't take it.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for the PDF to load. Like, I, reasonably speaking, probably wouldn't take Elven anyways. I'm just now curious.
Makes sense to me. You don't get one for going straight. Actually, let's see.
Unless
You get
Bardic-
light armor, 1 skill of your choice, 1 musical instrument of your choice. So you do get another skill, if you haven't taken that already.
I did take that. I just wasn't sure about that. And then I'm just trying to see if I get any kind of linguistic bonus for becoming a bard.
At 2nd level, you get Jack of all trades. But no, you do not. I know for sure Yanan only speaks Common and Orc.
Okay, I'm gonna tell I'm gonna tell Warwick to stash it in Gruck's room for safekeeping. But hide it.
Gruck is up on deck with you, by the way.
Sweet, even
Anyway.
better.
Even better.
You'll stash it there. It's
Because
also not
if the captain finds out that it's missing, Gruck will get blamed for it. If the captain doesn't find out that it's missing, then we can take it on. We can take it, away and get it translated.
See, it's just not as much fun to pick on him when he's not here, though.
No, wait a minute. Put it in Vull's room because he's the asshole that punched me.
Can I roll a perception to see if I can see it being floated into my room?
You will get a perception to see if you can see it floating into your room.
Perception.
God, roll a one.
Disgrace.
No, you do not see it floating into your room.
Balls.
Yay, Warwick!
That little bastard's proving to be very useful for you.
Mhm.
So,
I'm just gonna keep an eye on the captain.
alright, he just wakes people up, yells at people, gets people going. That's pretty much all he's doing. Nothing abnormal. He finishes waking people up and they cast off, and you guys start your journey. Which will be quite a journey, actually.
And we 7 days later make it back to port totally safe. Right on.
Thought.
Are we level 5 now?
Let's see. Nope, you don't hit level 5 until after the next thing. Got 50 miles there. That's 300. Let's see. You got a 14-day journey up to Thorburn, where you're going to be doing the next portion of it. And some of it is very, very rough seas.
Wait, where's Thorburn? Oh,
All the way to the north. You guys are here,
Go all the way there.
and you're going all the way up to Ekby.
Okay.
Ekby. So, alright, who's fapping?
My bizzle?
Alright, so, it'll be a 14-day journey up there. I'm going to need, after the first 5 days, which are fairly normal, I'm going to need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw. Vull and Gruck, you guys spend part of the day leaning over the rail.
Really? Dang.
Me? I did?
Nope,
No,
Vull and Gruck.
Okay.
Thorn, you made the DC on the dot. You feel a little nauseous, but you don't actually throw up.
Alright.
So, it is a little unusual to be on a boat for you. You prefer solid ground. So, waiting for the siren to pass before I...
You know what I should do?
You say, is that me or...
It's not me.
I think it's me.
Okay.
Unless you guys can hear dogs barking.
I hear sirens.
I hear sirens and dogs barking over my headphones.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Or hear the sirens. Though.
You know what I should do, though? To help with the sickness? I should tie a rope to the ship and just, like, ski on the back of it.
If it was going
I
a little
will
faster...
give you something.
What?
I would give you something. Let me see what I have that's worth giving. I have a vial of holy water you can totally have.
I'll do it, sure.
Okay. Okay.
I want these rolls.
How do you go about it?
Well, I have the ring, so I can just tie a rope and jump off and just say, woo!
Okay, so
What
you
do you
have... You have... What kind of rope are you using first? Is it silk rope or hemp rope you have?
Silk? I don't. Oh, that I have. I don't know. I was just gonna find something on the ship.
Okay, that's hemp rope.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. Just like, this doesn't look like it's being used for anything. Cut, cut.
Alright, so, the first thing... Does your character have any knowledge of sailing whatsoever?
Uh,
No, we've established that.
Okay.
no, because I'm from the underworld.
Alright, so, oh, Jesus Christ. Alright.
The most sailing I've done is on the river Styx.
Give me a general intelligence check. Alright. So you do find some rope coiled up on the deck. It doesn't look like it's being used for anything else. You could probably use that.
Alright.
Okay. It is tied up to something though, so you'll have to cut it somewhere. It's not quite long enough to reach to the back of the boat.
What's it tied to?
More rope. Your character doesn't know a lot about sailing, so it's tied to, like, the rope is like tied to this metal wooden thingy that just comes down and curls up there on the rest of it, and then the rope goes from there up to the mast. It might actually be the sail it's going up to. You're not really sure. Kind of gets lost in the tangle of all the rope up there.
Okay, I take it.
Yeah, it's just one rope. Like, how useful could it possibly be?
You gonna cut it after it's tied, so you just take the coil?
Yep.
Okay, good. So you cut it, take the coil part, and
Hang on. I just want to know if anybody's watching this happen.
Vull, give me a stealth check. Are you wearing your armor at the moment?
Yes.
And it's at disadvantage then.
Okay.
Like, I totally told him to do this, so I'm watching the whole thing. I just want to see if anybody else is looking.
Yes. A couple of the sailors are watching. They're like, like, just surprised that he's actually doing that. Huh. Huh. The fuck are you doing?
I'm gonna ski in the back.
All right then.
And they're like, "What's skiing?"
The one goes up and goes, all right. He'll point at the rail at the back and go. You might as well tie the rope and get doing it, right?
Yep.
Go ahead. Watches you tie your rope. Give me a. Oh, jeez, what would it be for that? Let's go with an acrobatics check, I guess. It's about the best it's going to be. So you tie the rope. And you feel confident in that, eh?
Yep.
I'm totally going to be standing there just, like, next to the sailor, be like, no, just let him go. Just let him go. Just let him go.
Oh, and how many sailors did I have on the ship total? So, 1, 2.
What's the over-under on this doesn't work?
It is one of the guys that came back later in the night. Not one of the ones that was like drop dead drunk.
Okay.
Just so you know who it was. I was curious if it was one of the ones that stood up for you. He's like, all right, how are you gonna ski?
With my feet.
All right, get to it then.
You need to have an actual ski.
He has water walking, so it kind of works the same way.
No. He needs to have an actual ski. There's boards on this ship.
Here, let me just take this big chunk off the side, just right above the water.
I hear that works well, and he points to the wheel.
Oh my god, yes.
You know that's a bad idea without even.
Yeah. If I can just see it, it's like okay, make it like,
the
make
sailor
it like a
gonna
saucer.
get along.
Well, if you don't like the idea of that one, we do have several boards on board. You can break one off a thing, or you know what? I might have the perfect board for you. It's up in the front.
Okay, wait, Matt? Half?
Huh?
Like, where is it?
In the bow.
Okay.
No, it is not the rudder.
Well, my
He
first
wants-
thought was rudder.
He wants to
My
actually.
second thought was door to the captain's cabin.
He actually wants to make it there alive. No, actually, give me an intelligence check, because he'll go grab the board and see if any of you recognize.
Should we all do one?
Anybody that's watching.
Alright. Oh, that is not what I wanted.
Sean is gonna be so pissed when he gets here.
He takes the board that keeps the anchor from going down.
Oh.
And goes, this would be a perfect board for you. Here you go. It's about that wide, about 5 feet long.
I'm gonna look at this guy and be like, you and me were on the other side of the boat, right?
What are you talking about? You say that, and he kind of leans over and goes, I was actually working underneath the boat with the cargo, making sure it's secure. I don't know about you. Vull's sitting here like, oh, this is such a bad idea.
You know what? F it. Do it.
No,
YOLO.
you're committed.
Yeah. Alright, so, what do you do?
Tie up and
This,
I tie up and go. I don't know.
you tying it around yourself or just holding onto the rope? Like, how describe all you're doing.
I am tying the rope to the ship, nice and taut. Making sure I'm not going to do just one single knot around a pole. I'm going to do around this and around that and around that, so that way it's going to hold me.
Yeah, we got
operate.
we got your roll for that one already.
Oh,
The
okay.
7.
And then. Okay.
You rolled a 7 for your tying of the rope up for yourself, and that's why he was like, "You confident about that, eh?"
Yep. And then I hold on to the board that they gave me with one hand, and then jump off, I guess.
All right. Give me an athletics check. By the way, I would like to point out right here real quick for DMing purposes that shirts certain people are wearing are now in void if they decide to try to kill themselves.
Ah.
What?
Do you see Robert's shirt?
Wasn't really looking. Robert, say something.
It
Is cer-
says, please don't kill my character, +5 shirt of groveling.
So I think
Okay.
certain people's shirts are null and void if they decide to kill themselves. Alright, so he jumps off, and as he's going down, he puts the board underneath his feet. He lands perfectly. It's going just fast enough that he can get the tautness of it. And he's standing there, and he's kind of surfing a little bit. Feeling pretty good about it, actually. Kind of getting back and forth a little bit, playing with a little bit of the rudder, with the wake a little bit there. As you're doing this, though, the people on the top, you can see the rope start slipping on the knot. It's all kinds of round, but the actual knot is slipping loose.
Do I see that?
Give me a perception check. It looks from your angle. You can see it slipping a little bit, but give me we'll go with either insight or investigation on it, whichever one you prefer. You're pretty sure it's slipping in and making it tighter. You know how like not slip a little bit when they get tighter? You're pretty sure that's what's going on there.
That's great.
Hi, you want to come say hi to everyone? Come over here, Chloe. Look, people are up here. Thank you. Now come over here real quick, Chloe. I appreciate that. Thank you. Come here. Come here. So yeah, it's slipping in, becoming a little tighter and tighter.
Hi.
Hi, Chloe.
There's everyone. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, you see Uncle Justin?
Hi.
Hi.
That's Robert.
Hi.
I get pointed at.
She hasn't pointed at you yet, no?
That hurts my feelings.
Who's that one?
It doesn't help if
No,
you
that's
do
Uncle
it.
Justin.
What's up, Chloe?
And that's Pink.
Hi, Chloe.
And that's Robert.
Hi.
I can't see who she's pointing at with that one. She's just being adorable.
Oh,
Alright, so the knot starts slipping into tighter positions. Ooh,
Or so I think.
or so you think. Robert, you look so tired.
No, I'm contemplating on how I want to go about this.
What do you say?
He's contemplating how he wants to go about this.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a plan in my head to see what happens.
Sorry, I have his
Well-
headphones. He can't hear you.
Tell him, ask him how fast the boat's going.
He wants to know if he can drive the boat.
If you can drive the boat?
That's what he asked. He asked how fast the boat is going.
Oh, about 3 miles an hour.
I just
How
wanted-
fast?
Very slow.
Okay, now I have a plan.
As fast as the Flash can go.
3 miles per hour is the average walk speed of a human.
Okay, good to know.
So are you gonna jump ship to the other one?
No, he's already off the ship. He's trying to surf on it.
Yeah.
Or ski.
He's what?
He's trying to water ski.
Trying to water ski.
Not trying to, I am.
So basically, a shark's gonna come up and bite him.
Maybe.
Shark attack.
The shark jumps in there and bites all their dicks off.
It's okay. If a surfer can survive, you can too.
Yep, see?
That feels better.
Pink, we're talking about shark attacks.
Sir Carl, come on.
What?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's missing.
I had everything I had last time. There's just gonna be more tomatoes than last time because they're like huge tomatoes.
Okay, now you will have to get up.
Okay. Apparently, I'm being demoted from being the GM.
She didn't kill you guys quick enough.
No, you didn't tell me what button I had to push.
I'm not pushing buttons.
There's a button that just says kill
Well, I'm
party.
gonna do that too.
Idiot. 10
I
dice
tell
6
you,
lightning
can I
bolt.
make
No
my
saving.
PJs?
You guys are
No.
keeping
That's
trash.
sweet cilantro.
You look up. A brown cow is falling out of the sky.
Moo!
If you ever have death by brown cow, you know I'm upset with you. I saved that specifically for upset times. Alright,
Does
this
that
character's
actually
done.
happen?
Brown cow death, go over.
It's okay, you got chocolate milk.
Alright, so speaking of rolling, where were we?
I'm surfing and the
Alright,
rope's
so-
slipping.
Alright, so the knot's coming undone. You're sitting there. You're having fun. Knot slips out. The rope goes slack, and you start losing your momentum. The board kind of goes out from underneath your foot.
Hold on.
Those are the
How
things
do
that
I-
happen very quickly.
Can I reaction time because I want to try to grab my javelin and try to jab the rope to stick it to the boat.
Oh my god, that's gotta be a nat 20.
You, like, as it's coming untied?
It's got
Yeah.
to be like a 17 or above.
I'm coming up with an AC on it. Hold on. Alright. Go for it. Roll
With
it.
acrobatics or just
No,
throw a
it's
javelin?
to hit. You're rolling
Oh.
to hit with your javelin.
Ah!
He does it.
Holy shit!
It starts to come undone. He just boom, bam, right through, and the guy, both you. I'm assuming that's pretty much your in-game reaction. The sailor and Saxon are just like, whoa.
Oh,
So you're still having fun.
And then in the background you hear Jack Sparrow, "Stop putting holes in my ship."
Pretty much. Okay.
Sweet.
Give me a perception check, Vull.
All right. That was awesome. I'm happy with that. Just the fact that I did it, that I'm happy.
Very nightly.
Perception?
Yes. Everybody on the ship can hear this as well. You guys all of a sudden start hearing a clanging sound.
Clinging?
Clanging followed by a large sploosh sound and more clanging. Clack, 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 clack.
That's not good.
Hmm.
Okay, so real quick, I'm at a level 4 druid, so I can turn into monsters at a half challenge rating.
Yes. But I believe not swimming creatures yet.
But not swimming yet.
Or flying.
Okay,
Wait.
I
No, I can swim.
Oh, you can do the swim ones? I don't know what level is the swim. So it's the 4th level when you can do the swimming ones? There's no flying
Yeah, no
ones.
flying at 4th.
Okay.
So I can swim.
I'm going. So I hear it. So I'm gonna pretty much kind of run on the water, get
Okay.
up to the boat, and climb up, and then yank my javelin with the rope, so that way I don't lose my javelin.
Okay, so you like start moving quicker. You start running to catch up to the boat. You hear the clanging noise. As you're running up to the boat, make a reflex save.
you'll float too.
Reflex save. How do I do that?
Dexterity saving throw. Sorry,
Oh, sorry.
I still have 3.5 in my head. All right, you're able to recover from this still too. As you're running up there, all of a sudden the ship starts lurching to the side, differently than you expected, and you're barely able to make a grasp on it instead of running into the ship.
Is it the anchor falling?
Yes. See, I was hoping what would happen is the rope would come undone and you're running towards the ship, the thing turns, and you run flat into the ship. As it just turns abnormally and slows down. But you're able to jump up, latch on, as the ship starts lurching to one side, and the sailor looks down at you, looks at you, Saxon, and goes, "You're on your own, mate," and takes off running, knowing the captain's going to be up any second.
Okay, hang on. Just making sure I have it. Yep, invisibility. And I'm gonna go to my room and then come hauling ass upstairs. What the hell just happened?
Thorn?
I was chilling on deck watching this from a distance, but it looks like I was a part of anything.
Okay. And so you're climbing up. Give me an athletics check to see how quickly you're able to climb up. Okay. So that's pretty much normal speed. You're able to climb up. You are getting up to the top and pulling your javelin out. Like, so you got the rope in one hand. You're like over the, like, straddling the rail, climbing over. You got the rope in one hand. You pull your javelin out in the other, and look over to see the captain looking at you.
You want to go next?
That's what me laughing, not... Actually... Hold on. Okay, that was an in-character laugh, too. Oh, hell no! Oh, no. Oh, go to your cabin! Till I can... Just go to your cabin!
They come hauling ass upstairs. The fuck just happened?
This guy's jealous because I came up with a fun thing to do.
And he's like stomping around, like he's trying to keep a composure in front of the crew because he's got to keep a certain level of discipline and whatnot. And you just like totally undermined it. That's why he's just like, just go to your cabin, because he's laughing too much around you. That's why he's banishing you to your cabin. You can tell that very clearly. He takes a second to compose himself and then starts barking out orders of how to fix all the stuff going on, including getting the anchor back up and everything.
I gotta go sit. You guys do all the work. That was great.
I can't believe you got away with it, dude. Rolls pulled off perfectly.
Yeah.
That javelin throw was perfect.
Yeah.
I set the AC at 21, too. That's the ridiculous part.
It
was a very narrow margin to hit it, so...
Yeah. That's, it seems to be those times when it really matters. Like jumping out the window into the trees, or throwing a javelin into the rope, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
You should give him inspiration for that.
Yeah, I'll give you inspiration for that, for sure.
I think
and also the recommendation that you should probably take the luck feat at some point instead of a stat boost. Because it's just kind of fitting with the character.
I already have inspiration, though.
Then I will let you award it to another party member.
Okay,
Who do you want to give it to?
I'll give it to...
One of them that's here. Now somebody that's not here.
Can I give it to Warwick?
Yes!
Make a note in your character sheet that
Me?
Warwick has an inspiration. Pink.
Oh, okay.
Is there like a note? There it is.
All right. The next few days go very uneventfully, and you guys will
Nothing
arrive.
compares to that.
Nothing compared to that.
Well done.
Seasickness is not even worth mentioning anymore.
Hey, where's my holy water?
Oh yeah, you have a holy water now.
Worth it.
A Lannister always pays his debts.
Okay. So you guys will wake up one morning as you guys are coming into Thorburn area. There is a large mountain range on either side of the harbor as you approach in. Cliffs sheer facing up to the sky, touching the clouds practically. You'll be sailing through this narrow harbor for quite a ways until you can finally see, carved into the side of the mountain, a large sprawling town that comes out a little bit into the only area of flatland around here, and a fairly decent sized city as you guys approach to dock. Where is it? There it is.
I was going to say, do we get to see said city? Wow.
So, I spent a lot of time on different maps. Chloe, go back to bed, sweetheart. Thank you. Alright, so they will pull up. This one, you don't actually anchor up to any place specifically. You do anchor a little off, and ships come out and unload and ferry back and forth with a barge. It is calm enough seas to do that most of the time. So there is little to no need to get off here. They're just doing a quick unload, reload, and taking off. They hope to be gone by nightfall. So, but if you guys wish to, you have about 4 hours. You could go into Ekby.
Mommy.
Chloe, you're supposed to be asleep, sweetheart. Yeah, I see that smirk.
Can I?
Now, do note this is basically the port city for what would be Vikings. Ironically, almost everybody that is working on the barges unloading this, there is a few humans, a couple of them. It is mostly dwarves that are unloading these things. They still have their large beards and big flowing hair pulled back, but they are dressed... Chloe, they're dressed much more in sailor garb, and you can tell even their skin is salted by the sea.
Cheers. Can I walk up to ask, how long do we have? 4 hours?
4 hours.
I'm just going to try to make a quick run into town. Is there anyone around that I can ask if there's any magical item shops?
I don't really sell magical items up here.
Okay. Well, then I'll
Not
stay
very
on.
much. A lot of other things. Weapons, very common to get any kind of weapon you want up here. They love their weapons. They love their fights. There is a few places to get different types of herbs. Gruck is actually going to be disappointed because I'm going to say he's sick and going to get off to get the herbs that he wanted to buy to sell back with the other one because he didn't show up this week. I know that's not his fault, but
No.
Is the captain still wearing that ring?
yes, he is, and he actually gets on the first barge to go to shore.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can see Pink is thinking. The steam is
Like, I'm
rolling.
trying to figure out how to fucking play this.
Oh,
What exactly are they loading onto our ship? Can I tell, or are they all in crates?
it's mostly crates. However, given the area, it's probably some type of trade good from up here. High chance that it's actually weapons, armor, parts for ships. Tends to be. They do a lot of crafting things up here. They don't have a lot of resources on their own, but they have very skilled craftsmen.
Can I look, like inspect one of the crates? Or
Yeah.
crates? Okay. Do I need to roll anything for that, or just...
If you'd like.
No.
Like,
Why?
it depends on how quickly, like, you just opening it up, looking at the top, and going?
Yeah. Kind of keep a mental note of what's in each one.
The first, when you open it up, you see straw.
I go like...
There's some iron ingots in that. It looks like they are picking up metal ores, basically.
Oh, okay.
Is what the shipment is entirely of.
Okay, shut it, and then go to the next one.
Yeah, it just seems to be basically what there is. There's a few barrels that are clearly marked as some of the finer dwarven ales from the area, going down to Seaport for for consumption or sale. And there is one barrel that is marked with a caution sign on it.
Temptation.
That's why I put it there. And we're trying to give Pink a chance to think.
Did anybody bother to ask about the correlation between when he bought that ring?
He told you guys that he had the ring for about a year, and you guys know that the ship started disappearing 6 months ago. So you guys kind of found out the correlation. By the way, did you want to find out if anybody read Elvin on the way down? On the way up here? Or are you just waiting for Vull to get caught now?
I mean, it's a little of both. Does okay? I will. Like, reasonably speaking, the orc probably doesn't.
Yananoli speaks Orc in common.
I don't think Gruck would. Although he does know a lot about magic. Thorn doesn't really strike me as the kind of guy that would try to learn Elven. I mean, I guess I'd ask Vull.
Do you speak Elven?
I do not. Why do you ask?
Curiosity, and then I'm going to wander away.
I'm going to do an intelligence check to see if it's wise to open up that crate with the coffin symbol.
Probably not.
Okay, I won't.
But your curiosity is still getting to you. But it's you understand that it's probably not wise to open it because you have no idea what it is, and there is a giant caution symbol on it. So it does have a little picture of an explosion. So if that means anything, as Chloe's baby, she will not go to bed without it. I believe that's Princess. Is that Aurora?
Yes.
Yeah, that's baby Aurora.
So I open up on the ship, and the ship goes bang. Okay, got it. Don't do that.
Considered I'm making mini and Play-Doh.
Okay. While we're at sea and we have time, I would have asked the captain if he had like a minute, just to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah. You can take a minute at least.
What does he? Because we only got a really short rundown of what all was going on. I just want to hear it from him about what happened, what's been happening, because I need to know what I'm getting into.
He remembers leaving Seaport. Can't remember where they go to pick up stuff, and doesn't remember anything until he's drifting into Seaport Harbor with on the dinghy with the crew. The last couple crews have claimed that he is cursed, and that's why they or the venture is cursed of the noble, and they don't wish to go with him. For that reason, that's why they've been quitting. Because nobody seems to be able to remember the voyage, except for leaving and returning.
Does he have a schedule? Like, the noble had to... The nobleman, what's his name? Fucking... Steve.
It's McDonald, not McDonald.
McDuffin?
McDuffin, yeah.
Those are the dwarves that run the bar.
Dang it.
It's Sharp, Lord Sharp.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Sharp, right? Warren Sharp.
Yeah,
I remember that
very
because
true.
Quincy
Sure.
Sharp is how I...
Like, has he been able to fill you in? Like, have you asked him later, like, where did we go? Is there a correlation?
Logs, like things we're picking up, dropping off, the trade.
Well, the ship's missing, so we don't know what the logs were. Every time the ship's been gone, so everything's gone with that. We don't know what was coming on, what was... We've gone back to port authorities, but they don't know, and it's been a different port every time.
Okay.
What?
Do you... According to Gruck, the ring that you're wearing has a curse on it.
So he says.
My question is based on when you bought the ring and when this started happening. Is there any real correlation?
It's half a year apart from each other. I mean, I had the ring for all of them, yes, but...
Would you be willing to go to, like, a cleric just to get an outside opinion? Because the magic on this ring, like you said, it protects your brain, right? So that means that the magic on the ring is connected somehow to your head.
Makes sense.
If it's protecting against scrying, it might also have something embedded inside it that Grunt can't see that's helping whoever's doing this to scry on you. Like,
I
I'm not saying
suppose
to
I can
take
go
our
see a
word for it.
cleric. And Thorburn is my homeland. I will go see a cleric I trust and have them take a look.
Okay. Like, I'm not saying to take our word for it. Go get a second opinion and see what one of them says.
He nods. So fast forwarding from there to getting on, he gets on the first barge heading to port. Thorn, you wanted to follow?
Yeah, I'll be on the same barge over.
Okay. Saxon, you want to do anything? I mean, clearly, I'm assuming Vull's just helping load things and unload things, because he kind of wants to see what's all in everything.
Yeah.
So,
Part of me wants to be like, I can go get a mischief and Thorber, but I also don't want to get left behind.
you got at least 4 hours.
I want to go exploring, just kind of get a feel for the place.
Okay. When you go to get on the ship, onto the barge, one of the sailors that you drunk heavily with will actually pull you to the side before you go there and go, if you want a good time, go stop by the Vulgar Duchess.
Alright. I think I know where I'm going.
So, and yeah, no, it is kinky. I have descriptions of everyone that works there, and some of the descriptions are not very kid friendly.
So this is about to be a not safe for work.
So, yeah. So give me a history check, because the Vulgar Duchess is actually known worldwide, and being a bard, you actually have traveled enough and heard things, so it is possible that you know more about it. It is not possible you know more about it.
Okay. I'm gonna go learn.
Actually, you will know still the basic history of it, but I'll give it to you when you get there.
Alright.
Alright, so you approach the Vulgar Duchess. You can hear it from a block away. It's right here on the coast. Like, it is very, very prominent. You can hear it, like I said, quite a ways away. The merrymaking and whatnot. Let me go through the description. Along the shores of Ekby Harbor, sounds of jovial yet crude merrymaking can be heard of all hours of the day. Run by a former duchess whose husband disappeared suddenly. Some say she killed him, but none have found proof. She took the money she got from the death of her husband, leaving the vast amount of her wealth, or vast amount of her husband's wealth, to his estranged son. She left, moving to Ekby, and opening the establishment here, hiring only women to run it. None that work here have a clean mouth, often causing sailors that visit here to blush. The tavern has many tables and many rooms, with a constant booming business, as this is a normal hangout of most of the shady folks in town. A large pit is seen as you enter outside, which is clearly used as a fighting arena during the nights, stained with blood.
Sweet.
I'm gonna like this place.
It's one of my favorite inns I made, the Vulgar Duchess. And Kayla heard the description and took Chloe out of the room. So as you enter, there is a lady. She's bustling about behind the bar. Let's see. She's taller, especially for a woman, standing a little over 6 foot tall. She appears to be human. When she looks up as you come in, just say whatever the fuck you want. And she just goes back to whatever she was doing right before. you'll see many people wandering around in here, including the Duchess herself. She is wearing a nice gown and what is clearly a wig, because you can see her hair coming out from underneath it. It's dark brown, and she is wearing a white, like one of those giant head beehive things like the French used to use. And it's like sitting slightly crooked, a little bit dirty. She's almost wearing it in a sarcastic manner is what it is. There's a couple barmaids running around, and you do see at least two people chatting to some of the patrons there that you are sure work here, who are not sitting in their own chair.
Is there an open chair?
There is many open chairs at the bars, at the tables.
I'm gonna find myself a table and have a squat.
Okay. Pop a squat there. Let's see. You'll find a shorter lady will come over. She is half elf. She has vibrant red hair. She'll come. What can I help you with today?
I would like a drink.
That doesn't really narrow it the fuck down. Gonna have to be a little bit more specific there, honey.
What the fuck was the name of that mead? I don't know. Whatever the hell the name of that mead was.
Which one? The one you had from the other place?
Yeah.
Well, we might have a bottle of that. That's a little nicer than things we usually carry. But
Okay, fine. Just no, go and see.
she nods and wanders. Takes a step, stops, and goes, "You want anything to eat with it?"
Kind of look her up and down once. I'll think about it.
She chuckles and walks away. It'll take about 5 minutes, and she will come back with a bottle. It clearly has some dust around it. It's been here for a little while, but it is not it still has the cork in it and everything. And she'll set it down with a cork and a glass, or with a corkscrew and a glass. So I guess we do have one bottle. It was deep in the cellar. I had to delve very deeply to find it.
Deep in the cell.
Atta girl.
But I'm willing to do what I have to for my customers. And she says that, like, brushing her hand over yours as she walks away.
Well, I am gonna like this place.
So, yeah, no, it's definitely known for its, and this is the kids' safe time of the day to be there, because you're in early morning or mid morning. Nighttime is when this place is really interesting.
Keep an eye on the time. Drink. Watch people.
You will definitely tell that this is definitely the hookup place for a lot of shady people. There's a lot of deals you see being made between shadier individuals. You can't hear the specifics over it, but you do definitely hear the word poison a couple times and things of that nature. There is a few rooms that seem to cycle with those the entertainers. Going up there a few times during the course of the time you're there. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a little more lively, especially for this time of day. You do hear people talking about the fights that are going to happen tonight. It sounds like there is fights every single night. One of
We're
the
gonna
guys,
have to come back.
one of the guys there, he seems like he's about 7 foot tall, probably, and built like a brick house. He literally only has pants on right now and drinking, but you can see all the bruises, cuts, and stuff. People make mention that he's the champion right now. And you also hear with the word champion, right? Or he's the champion for now. Is more what you hear. Apparently, he's held the title for the second longest, and he's had it for a whole 5 days.
What's the longest?
2 months.
Impressive.
The guy, when he finally lost, retired from fighting and is still living a grandiose life off his winnings.
Definitely going to have to come back.
So, it is definitely an interesting establishment.
How conversating is this waitress?
She tends to be more on the shy side, but she's more the sit down and listen type than the actual conversationalist. There is another server there who seems to be a lot more talkative, a lot more boisterous. She's cursing out half of her patrons, and they're just loving it. However, you do notice that as she's doing it, she is more interested in doing the waiting stuff, actually being a barmaid, not the other business that's happening here.
The talkative one or the shy one?
The talkative one. She
Okay.
doesn't seem like she's so interested in the other half of the business.
Fair enough.
I do have names for all of them, too, but I didn't think you really cared, so...
Not really.
That's why I
Um,
hadn't given any of them. I have them here for people that would care, like Gruck.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't.
You're like Red.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm curious about the fights and like what are the general rules? How much do people make? That kind of thing. Now,
They have
clearly,
three
I will say I'm not going to be here for very long this time.
They
But,
have three
you know.
different kinds of fights here. They have a magic fight. People don't
Boring.
really show up for that one. They don't really enjoy it. They do have a group fight. Again, sometimes it's enjoyable, sometimes not. And then they have the bare knuckle fighter. No magic, nothing but you and your knuckles in the arena. One-on-one.
Your ability to stay up.
First person to drop or surrender, loss. And there's been known to be a few accidental deaths. About 2 to 3 a week.
You might have to come back.
People travel all the world here to test themselves against it. That's why the champion doesn't last very long. What the way they do it all is there's an admission to get in. It's not much. It's usually 5 silver unless it's a championship fight against 2 champions, and it's a gold. And all the money from that and half the money from all the sales here go to the champion of the night, and they can make quite a bit. Plus, they can bet on themselves if they wish, but they cannot bet on their opponent. They have to bet on themselves.
Well, I mean,
We don't want
you
people
be
cheating,
throwing
you know.
any matches.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's garbage.
There was one guy
What's
that
the
did. He had a
first?
friend of his bet for him, and he took a fall. Well, don't know exactly what happened to him or his friend, but we found them in about 70 pieces the next day.
Only 70. You guys went nice.
I didn't say we did it,
Okay, whoever decided to do it
but
clearly was
he
nice
points.
about it.
He points to behind the bar. There seems to be this like an old leather ball hanging up there. We saved a piece of them. Remind people not to do that again.
I like it.
So yes, his scrotum is hanging above the bar, petrified.
Well, half of it, anyways. Ugh.
So definitely your type of place. But fighters do come from the world over to fight here. Thorburn is known for its pit fights. They used to be a very violent society, and when they weren't allowed to go pillaging and raiding anymore, they had to keep their fighting up in some way. Occasionally, they actually have full-blown weapon matches, too, where you can come in with actual axes and armor and fight. But those always end lethally. So they have to make sure it's done when no law enforcement are around. So usually in order to do fights like that, there's usually some type of unexpected disaster, like a house burning on the other side of town, before that fight starts.
Oh, what a shame.
Yes. So yeah, that's the kind of environment that this place definitely has. Much more interesting. One of the things you will note, though, is towards the end of the time, the captain comes in and is talking to a few people. And Thorn, he goes for what happened since he got here. He went to the temple. He talked to somebody. The cleric actually did cast something on him. If you want to make a knowledge religion check, you can see what it is.
Yeah, sure.
Now, are you following secretively or bluntly?
Well, I don't want to. I want to be straight up with him. Ask him if I can just go with him.
Okay, yeah, he'd have no problem with it, so you're just there. That's why I was asking if it was secretively. You're not sure exactly what they cast. It's a little bit past your knowledge in the divine type spells. You're more familiar with your nature spells, not divine spells. But he definitely cast something. They say it's a remove curse. Whether that's true or not is you can't confirm.
Okay. All right.
And then after that, he goes and he visits a couple people, old friends, and then heads to the Vulgar Duchess. And as he's going down there, he'll tell you that the shipment here isn't as large as they were wanting, so he's going to pick up some passengers to fill up, to make a little bit extra money. Because passengers, when he's able to take on passengers, that adds to his pockets, not to the nobleman's. So the cargo's for the nobleman, passengers
Can I
are
ask
for the
what
crew.
the cargo
and
is?
me. Believe we have mostly ore this time. Some ale. Always get ale every time we're here. And I believe the boss had a special order for someone that is trying to clear out rock on their land. A special type of alchemical, explosive, powdery stuff.
Okay.
Not sure exactly what it is. It's nitroglycerin!
Spoilers.
I was really hoping he would open it and not be gentle about it. Because blowing a hole in the side of the ship would have been freaking hilarious.
Yes, it would have.
That would have definitely put a twist on this story that I would not have seen coming either. Alright, so you'll see Thorn and the captain come in, and Thorn, you will see Saxon there drinking.
That's
Okay.
perception is to hear the captain's conversation, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, so you've heard the description of everything, so I don't really have to go through it for you. The captain does seem to ignore the girls for the most part and just starts talking to some of the patrons, trying to find somebody that is interested in booking passage to Seaport. There's always someone looking for passage to Seaport, he says. So he's trying to find that. So, after a little while, he's just talking to various people, and he will sit down and actually start talking to somebody who is human and has a robe on. Appears to be of the arcane persuasion. And they sit down and start discussing details. Saxon, on your 20, you will hear them talking specifically about pricing for taking the ship. Give me an insight with it as well. The captain clearly has never met this person before. However, this person seems more comfortable around the captain than a stranger should be. Like he's actually familiar with him.
I get the I get the impression that this gentleman knows the captain.
Correct. But the captain clearly doesn't know this guy.
Does this guy seem to perceive that?
What, that you see it?
No, that the captain doesn't recognize it.
Doesn't seem to faze him, if he does notice it.
I'm just going to keep an eye on the conversation for now.
Okay.
See if anything else seems to strike my fancy.
Outside of getting passage for, or booking passage for himself and a few compatriots, nothing else really is of interest in there. He is booking it for himself and 2 fellow students of the Arcane. Their private and his private bodyguard. He is from a slightly richer family, so it'll be my my personal bodyguard as well as a small detachment for my friends. A total of 7 of us, which means you guys are gonna have to leave your rooms. Which means you may want to move the book. Or leave
Nope.
it.
It means he's going to see if we can leave our rooms.
Well,
What?
they're paying passengers. You aren't, so you're gonna go down below or sleep on deck. So
Or throw these guys overboard and keep their money.
that's not a very good reputation to set up, is it?
You don't look like the kind of guy who cares about his reputation.
No, but the captain does.
I'm sorry. Have I given the captain the impression that I care about his reputation? Because if that's the case, I really need to work on my person-to-person demeanor.
Apparently you do. Yes. All right. So they will, as he's getting up to leave, he'll see you, Saxon, and be like, "Last barge is leaving in 20 minutes."
How much do I owe for the?
He'll say that and walk over. I could probably stretch it out to 40 minutes if you need a little more time.
I'm
Or
just gonna
maybe
like.
in your case, only 30.
I'm just gonna like slide the rest of the bottle of mead over to the captain.
Yeah, the bottle of meat is only going to cost you 1 gold.
And the company?
That will cost you 5 gold. If you're going for red.
Yeah, alright.
So. Alright. As you're heading up, he will say, "See you in 3 minutes."
Is she that good?
He's like, just trying to make fun of you more than anything. He doesn't have a quick comeback on that point, unfortunately for him. And he will go delay the barge for you for a bit. He's got a heart. Or something like that. Alright, so, you guys will get back from the last barge. By the time, you are going to meet the people that are there. It is 2 females.
Real quick, though.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to go back to the cleric that removed the curse.
Yes.
And I want to ask him if he could tell what the curse was. Or anything.
Not
Did he know
fully,
anything about it?
but it seemed to be tied to the creator of the ring. I think it allowed them the opposite effect of the mind shielding. I think it allowed them more access, or easier access to influence the mind. But only from the one that created it.
Alright.
But whoever
Okay.
concocted that ring would have been... They would have had to have a lot of money and time. And vast knowledge. It would have been highly educated.
Okay.
Alright, so going back to getting back on the boat, you guys will be going over. This will be the first time you guys get to meet all the people. The three of them are clearly academics when it comes to the arcane arts. They are probably in their mid-20s, which means they have been studying for probably 2 decades now in the arcane arts. Usually to reach a master status, you usually are about 3 decades of study before you actually have become considered a master in the academic part of the arcanes. But still, 20 years studying magic is quite well educated. There is one that is the one that actually was hired, or that did the hiring. Yes.
Really fast, just as a frame of reference. 20 years studying magic was like a 5th level wizard.
5th to 7th level, somewhere in there.
Okay, thank you.
It kind of depends. They could be a little bit lower if they're spending more time in lore rather than magic practice itself. It just kind of depends on what they're focusing on. I mean, some people may have just an insane amount of knowledge of it, but not the practice of it. So, the guy that did the hiring, his name is Isaac. He is a halfling. He is wearing a very fine tunic. And he does have 2 female compatriots. Both seem to be human. They are obviously part of his class or slightly lower classmen. They seem to be quite smitten with him. He does have a personal bodyguard who appears to be half-elf and is actually rather tall for a half-elf at almost a little over 5.5 feet tall.
Please tell me that was his sister.
What?
The half-elf, the redhead?
No.
Oh.
No. This guy has very blonde hair.
Dang.
Wearing black armor. He has a purple cloak. He is definitely you can tell very easily he is the personal bodyguard. However, given how he is holding himself, he is trained in the martial arts. However, he does seem to... He has a spell component pouch on his side and a arcane focus tucked into his belt as well as a spell book. So he is obviously a caster as well. In addition to that, there's basically 3 people that look like they're just basic bodyguard style, basic weapons, thugs more than anything. Thugs for hire type thing. That will board the ship, and they will take 4 of the 5 rooms that you guys currently had. The ones you guys have been sleeping in. Well, they take 4 of the 4 rooms. There's 5 rooms down there. So there's 1 room that's empty. So who's taking the room that's empty? Okay, I guess it's Saxon. Nobody else called dibs. Unless you're going to force him out of it.
You can try.
It's Vull's old room.
Well, I'm forcing him out of it.
Okay. They do an inspection for it and find you in possession of it. No. But yeah, there's still enough room in these rooms that you could probably sleep a second person on the floor. It's not that big of a deal. In fact, they actually have it, if you talk to the cabin, or to the captain, they have hammocks. You can sleep 2 people in this room easily, even 3. Like, you got the bed plus 2 hammocks you can set up in there.
Again, you think I'm talking to the captain about this?
No. I'm just telling you these are options. Like, you've seen the hammocks hanging up. You know they're there. So...
Matt, it's also an option that I'm going to drive to Lincoln and empty my bank account into the hands of a homeless person.
Yeah.
Like, the chances of that happening and the chances of me offering to hammock it up with one of these guys, about the same.
Oh, I realize that. But it's more for them to be able to argue with for it if nothing else.
Oh, okay. They can try.
They can try. They could also very happily put a hammock up on the outside or underneath and sleep very happily in one of those areas.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Probably
Take a hammock
get
and
a
sleep on the
quiet
deck.
night's sleep.
Yep.
sleeping on the deck could be a very comfy thing. Vull, what are you gonna do?
I am gonna sleep on the deck.
With a hammock or no?
Yeah, I'll just find a pile of like
A
whatever.
rope?
Yeah.
Some cut hemp rope? I can't believe you survived that.
I can't believe he survived that.
That was some stupidly lucky rolls.
I was convinced he was gonna die.
Natural damage.
Brown cow falls out of the sky. Alright.
His facial reaction.
Alright, so you guys will get boarded up. The couple people that are ready for the night shift will start casting the boat off, and you guys will start to head back towards Seaport with new party and new cargo. And that is where we'll have to call it till next week.
Okay.
If
I think we should talk about new people that just joined us.
you guys can talk about it. We got 4 minutes till Pink's going to be like, I gotta go, guys. So,
True. I do genuinely have to go here in about 4 minutes.
so that's why I figured it's probably a pretty good place to call it here. If you guys want to start to discuss. Or, don't forget, Discord is a thing. You can do the conversation in there or in the text message. You guys can have talks there about things over the week, thoughts that you have, stuff like that. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
I could even try not to read them if you really want. Try. I'll fail, but...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
Sure.
let's
I might as
talk
well
about
just
next week.
I
I'll
might
let
as well
Greg
just head out so I can shower and go to work.
So next week we will commence with your return trip. So you guys have been gone now for 21 days from Seaport.
Sweet.
So by the time
Alright.
you guys get back... How long did he need to do the book?
I don't remember. I thought you said 6 months or so.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the one that he told you on, because I can't remember. But by the time you're back, it'll be about 30 days done on it.
Dude,
Okay.
100?
So, alright guys.
See you guys later.
See you next week.
Good game.
Alright, good game. Bye.
Yep. See ya. Fucking bitch.